It's July 4th, 2008, and Independence Day has arrived for the millions of Americans united under one flag. To celebrate, the McNary Railroad brought out its historic engines, including the Class 40, for public display at the McNary Depot. While a majority of the employees have the day off, there are a few who still work not only for the increased holiday pay, but operating the historic fleet of engines. The Class 40 is clearly the star of the show, being the first foreign diesel locomotive to run in regular service on the McNary Railroad. However, she's not the only participant. A classic American F7, number 1, and McNary Railroad's only operating steam locomotive are on display as well. F7 number 1 was built by EMD in 1953 for the Pennsylvania Railroad as the 9657. It would haul freight trains along the Northeast even during the Penn Central era until she was retired by Conrail in the 1980s. She was restored by the McNary Railroad in 2005. The last and oldest participant was the steam locomotive. Built by Alco in 1919 for the Rock Island Railroad, she was a switcher around the Denver area until the early 50s, where she was retired from service and abandoned outside of Colorado Springs in a barn. The old steam locomotive was retrieved in November 2004 and was restored to working order in 2006. Later today, she'll haul a special train to Pinetop Lakeside, Arizona. The cool thing is that everyone could get inside the locomotives, and people could get a good look at how they work. There was nothing much going on besides a fireworks show later that night and a barbecue, but we'll experience the first revenue freight run of the Class 40s within a couple of days. It's July 9th, 2008. And we're here to witness a historic event after midnight. Class 40, number 322, pulls the first revenue train of a Class 40 in 20 years. It's a freight train that is being delivered from McNary, Arizona to Rancho Grande, New Mexico. The 322 just finished its trial runs a day ago and just entered service looking new as it did back in the 1960s. While a rare sight nowadays, a former Chicago and Northwestern caboose is being added onto the train as extra braking power to ascend the 1.5% grade along the White Mountains of Arizona, as well as the Sangre de Cristo mountain range of New Mexico.
McNary Railroad 322. Dispatch, are we clear to pull? Over. Yeah, you're clear to pull. 322 East, highball, 159963.
The 322 was given the honor of hauling the Rancho Grande Freight Manifest east, an intermodal train bound for New Mexico. This is the very first time that a train has run to Rancho Grande since the late 1990s, and the very first assignment involving a Class 40 being the main source of power. This was a special occasion for any American railroad, as a British locomotive was operating trains on United States soil. Shop members installed a Nathan P5 air horn, which came off of a former Rock Island E8 that was scrapped around the mid-1980s, a couple of years after the Rock Island went bankrupt. We stopped at Greer for maintenance. Soon, the 322 will be on her way once more. We get a fantastic view of State Highway 260's overpass as it towers above our train as it proceeds eastbound towards Eager, followed by Alpine, Arizona. We're at Cameron Spring, where our train leaves Arizona and crosses into Catron County, New Mexico. Notice the two rocks, as the one on the left indicates as a marker for Arizona, and the one on the right tells you that you're in New Mexico. These two rocks served at one time as a perimeter for the Apache and Zuni tribes long before native reservations became a thing. Our camera crew was given permission by the conductor of the train to film some shots inside the caboose, while we passed by some stunning scenery. At last, we arrive in Rancho Grande, the most eastern terminus of the McNary Railroad, and the last stop that our train will make on its journey. For now at least, the Class 40's will be mostly working on freight. However, there are plans for passenger trains to be pulled by these British brutes, as Wallace Fitzgerald, the company's CEO, could use a substitute for the F units, because both of the F7s are down for their 92-day inspection. And the first annual rodeo train is to be set in October at the Taylor Rodeo Grounds. The other active locomotives are too slow to hit track speed and above, if not too weak to haul the 15-car passenger train. It was decided once all 4 Class 40's that were delivered in the May 2008 order were service ready, 2 of them would take over 750 passengers to the rodeo.